Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ying Meets Yang of Gaming. How is everyone doing this wonderful Sunday? You know, it's time. Next Gen has launched. What's the deal? What's going on? Who got the systems? Who having fun with the systems? Right now, that's what we're going to talk about. We have, let's see here. Yes, we are live. We have my beloved co-host here, Project Storm. We have Peach Mecca in the house. What's up, Peachy? What's going on, girlfriend? Uh, we're gonna got a couple more minutes, waiting on some more people to come in. Oh,
Did you tweet it?
yeah, I tweeted it
Oh, okay. All
earlier. I'm
right.
about to retweet it now.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
Yes.
Me too. But anyway, how you feeling though?
I am great. How are you doing this evening?
Man, I don't even know. I'm so all over the place. I mean, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm just disappointed, for a lot of different reasons. But hey, what can I say? You know,
Eh,
next gen is here, so we should all be happy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly. Next gen is here. People have their consoles. It might be a little quieter tonight because people do have their consoles, and some people have been on their consoles nonstop. Some people have been still on Twitter and instead of on their consoles. We got a whole lot of things going on
Oh
tonight.
yeah, yeah.
So your
I,
week, how was your week? Because you were trying to find yourself a PS5 and an Xbox One. Unfortunately, we had to miss last Wednesday the commission. We could not run the show because YouTube decided to crash, where we couldn't go live. So unfortunately, we were not live last Wednesday on the commission. Also, let me get some housekeeping things out of the way. As you guys know, Project Storm is right here on YouTube, as Snow Bunny Gaming is. But you can also find, if this is your first time tuning in, you can also find Ying Meets Yang of Gaming over on Radio Public. You can listen anywhere, anytime, any way you like to with Radio Public over on radiopublic.com. There's also an app for iOS and Android. You can also find information about myself, Storm, and more creators on the pntsnetwork.com. You can go right over there and check us out also.
So we got Pete saying someone told her that YouTube was working incognito mode at the
Yeah,
time.
and it started working like I think like an hour after we were supposed to start, so we just canceled it that night. But right now YouTube is back working and we are here. All right. So, what's going on? What's going on? We have next gen consoles out. Xbox Series X and S launched on November the 10th. PlayStation 5 launched in the North America on November 12th. And we have had a plethora of things come up for both consoles. We've had people having issues with the Xbox Series X, only to find out that with the Xbox Series X, you have to be on the internet when you first set up your Xbox Series X. How do you feel about that, Storm?
Well, that's going to be a problem for some people that don't have the internet or has internet issues or whatever, and they're ready to play. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's not so that so overall. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that one.
I'm thinking that that people in countries that don't have internet access, like when Xbox was trying to launch internet only, when they first in 2013, they were like, "Well, you're gonna have to be connected to the internet all the time." And people in countries of the world was like, some countries of the world was like, "We don't have internet like that." And you had the famous Don Matrix line, well, we have a perfect console for you. It's called the Xbox 360. That's still a case with some countries. They don't have internet access as readily available as other countries where they want to sell these consoles. Or even push xCloud, if you think about it. Those countries of the world are going to be left out.
You're absolutely right.
So we got to think about it. What's going to happen with those? And in some of those countries, people were really into Xbox, so it's a catch-22 there. We also had we've heard some issues with smoking consoles, but then we also had the idiot who blew a vape pen through his system. And Microsoft and Xbox had to come out saying, we can't believe we have to tell you this, but do not put a vape pen inside of your console. But it did show one very, very good thing. It showed that fan pumping that heat, that smoke right on out of there very quickly.
It did. Yes,
so
it did.
It was showing that the fan is very effective in that system. So the fact that I was worried about air circulation in that system, but after I saw that fan working there, okay, that's crazy. Now there are some systems out here though, there's a teeny weeny bit of smoke coming out of it, and don't know if that's just from some part in it, like maybe some excess glue burning off or something like that. I mean, that's quite common in some tech issues also. There's also the fact of there's some systems that some videos I've been seeing out here where people can't load into certain games, or their entire Series X's are crashing and rebooting and making weird noises when it does it. So those are some technical hiccups we're hearing from the Xbox Series X camp. Now, I haven't heard any issues from the Series S camp. What do you think about that? Is it because maybe a lot of people didn't get the Series S, or the Series S is not having any issues? Because all the issues I've been hearing has been coming from the Series X. I haven't heard anybody talk about the Series S.
Yeah, and I think it's because the Series X is more compact, so it was built differently, more traditional like. So I think that might have something to do with it. And maybe all the focus is just primarily. Yeah, I saw a couple consoles like Series S consoles that was making that ticking noise or whatever the hell was going on with it. I did see a couple of those, but I think the primary focus was put on the Series X because of the fact that it's the big bro, like it's the beast. So that's what I'm thinking.
Or do you think the reason we're not hearing as much about the Series S is because it didn't sell as well as they anticipated it selling?
No, because all these units are sold out, I think it definitely sold as well as they wanted it to, because they had a set amount of stock, right, for both models, and they're sold out everywhere. So I'm gonna say it definitely sold, especially at that price point, because like if you can't get your hands on the X, some people might be desperate enough to say, look, man, I'm gonna go ahead and go with this S for right now. And when they got it home, they might have realized, damn, this might be all I need. I don't know, because I can't see the S being when it comes to sales, I can't see that being a negative for the Series S at $300. I just can't. So,
but we also have the issue that Xbox don't release their sales numbers, and now PlayStation is also following suit by not releasing their sales numbers. So right now, the only console that releasing sales numbers every quarter at least is Nintendo.
Well, I guess they would if they have massive millions out there. You know what I'm saying? I guess they would.
No,
be willing to.
But you got to think about Microsoft stopped reporting sales halfway through the Xbox,
which is crazy. Like, report Xbox the damn numbers.
Xbox One's consoles, they said they were no longer reporting numbers, and it looks like Sony's beginning not to report numbers either. Nintendo, even as abysmal as the Wii U was, Nintendo still reported sales numbers. Now, if you didn't want to report sales numbers, the Wii U sales numbers ones you didn't want to report.
Yeah, and see, look,
And if all these consoles are selling out, wouldn't they want people to know how many sold?
yeah, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to, they're trying to cover the fact that they're not at the magical number that they wanted to be at, that the projected number and all that stuff. But who cares about all that? The bottom line is, if you sold millions, you're good. You know what I mean? I know that they want to be the best selling console and all that. But the bottom line is, you still made billions. Let's just get it. Come on, man. Get the numbers out there. You got your billions. You're going to get more billions. If you give people what they want, you're going to get those billions.
Unless it's fewer consoles out here than we anticipated. They don't want to show how weak the launch of consoles were. I mean, yeah, you could say something sold out all the time, but if you only had 5 of that item, of course it's going to sell out. You understand what I mean?
You trying to say they don't?
I mean, I'm not saying there was 5 consoles they had, but
yeah,
you
I got you.
What I mean?
Yeah. It's like, and then some people think it's the whole supply and demand trick and all that stuff. I don't think it was based on supply and demand this time. I just don't, and I'll get into why at some point, or I can get into it now if you want to, because let's go COVID. Like, we got to throw it in there. All right. It's a hot topic right now for a lot of things to do with gaming and all that. Right. So I think
everything in the world, because you got to think everything is being affected by COVID. And now, like, I'm getting ready to give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
So, I knit, I crochet, I do hobbies and things like that. Right.
Yep.
Do you realize that right now it's starting to hit people who do hand-dyed yarns and have their own dyeing companies?
Yeah.
Because now there's a shortage of wool to dye.
Wow.
Because of COVID that happened months ago, all the warehouses have shipped out what they had, and they can't get any more in. So even now, after the country's reopened, some industries that didn't get hit then with getting supplies in are getting hit now with it. And it's affecting right now for yarn dyers, it's affecting all people who hand dye yarn. They just can't get the stock in because of the COVID and the shutdown and this, that, and the other. There's none out there for them to get. Like one of my hand dyers that I always buy wool and stuff from, that I buy hand dyed wools from, within a week she upped her prices. Like 1 week I ordered from her, it was a certain price. 2 weeks later, all her prices had went up because of how hard it is for them to get it, and their prices are now going up.
Yeah.
So besides COVID affecting us, it's affecting a whole lot of industries, but later. And you got to think, you remember how toilet paper and food and stuff got bought out?
Yeah.
When countries went on fucking lockdown, knitters, crocheters, and yarn and fabric enthusiasts went into them stores and bought that shit out because they didn't know when they were going to get back to the store again. And when they shut down mailing, nobody can order anything.
Well, I'll tell you this. Charles just came in and brought a good point. What's going on, Charles?
Hey, Charles. How are you? I hope your week was wonderful up until today.
Came in and said the true test hadn't happened yet. I want to see how Black Fridays and the holidays play out. Also, people are saying that the hardware is almost the same as last gen, supposedly. Hey, we're going to get into all
we're going to talk about that, Charles. That is a very, very good point. So basically from what some things that I have been viewing is saying, they're telling me to get a PS4.
Wow. And I just got rid of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like I just got rid of my pro, and then I'm seeing gameplay comparisons, and it's looking like the pro graphically is up there with the damn 5 as far as Call of Duty goes.
Mm-hmm.
So
So yeah, that's actually a very good segue. Or were you going to make a
nah,
comment?
no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that was a very good segue to talking about the performance of these consoles now in comparison to their predecessors. Just as Charles is saying, there's not a huge graphical upgrade for a lot of different games. Those third party games are looking the same cross gen. I don't care what tech is in anything. If it's a game made cross gen, it's going to look the same on both platforms, and that's my honest opinion.
Right.
Unless it was made specifically for that platform, if it's a third party game, when you go cross gen, it's going to look the same because some third party developers are not going to sit there and do shit for one console and do it for another console, and they're planning on selling it on both consoles. They might do a patch later down the road for the for the next gen, but when it launches, they're going to look the same.
Yeah. It just brings my mood down, man. I've never been so damn moody over some consoles and all this, and the next generation launch and all this stuff. It's just I don't even know. Look, I've seen so much gameplay footage. You know, I've been watching like a hawk, right? PS5.
Man, that's been your life. You've been
You know
having
what I'm saying?
you done had the son to set up the coffee pot next to your chair so you could be right there watching it all.
I mean,
Your eyes are peeled. You probably got them eyelids taped open so you don't fall asleep.
you know what? I have been staying up later than normal. But I've been, you know what? I'm happy I got my TV. I paid for my TV. I'm happy, you know what I'm saying? But I've been playing a lot of Stadia on my damn TV and PC, you know, so I'm like, okay, I got the TV, I'm ready, so it could be ready for everything, the PS5, the Series X, and all that stuff. And then I'm just like, yo, I want to go ahead and grab the consoles. You can't find the consoles. I could have pre-ordered the PS5. You know what I mean? Let that pass because I'm like, okay, they're gonna have some stock. You know, this is PS5 we're talking about. Series X we're talking about. One of them will be available for people who want to grab one. That was not the case.
But with Black Friday coming up, just as you made the point, we got Black Friday in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, but I'm not confident in that because if you see what happened,
No.
you
What I'm
see what
saying
happened
is,
at Walmart and all these online retailers, man. I'm not digging that. I don't have any faith in it.
But what I'm saying is, with the point that Charles brought up, he wants to know what it's going to look like on Black Friday. Will they have stock in 2 weeks for these consoles? They were in such a rush to launch them before the holiday season. With the holiday season 2 weeks away, we all know Black Friday starts it. Will they have consoles for people to buy?
I'm going to say that's a hell to the negative because they're showing right now that pickings are slim. I'm talking about when I'm still seeing if a full week goes by and I don't see no consoles back in stock before Black Friday. I'm saying like from launch until Black Friday. If I don't see that there's a certain number of consoles flying out of these stores and shipments being now, they could be ready for a wave of consoles to hit for Black Friday. But man, come on, man, we talking about millions of people that's at home, bunny. Millions of people that's at home, and a lot of them are gamers, and a lot of them are gamers who never, they just sit back and, they wait for these consoles sometimes, and some of them don't care about it. But I think they're jumping in now because of COVID and all that. You got to look at all this stuff, and people have been spending Microsoft came out and announced that they have made a profit, you know what I'm saying? Or they have been making a whole lot of money during this pandemic. All right.
Everybody has.
So people are looking for things to buy. The PC hardware is sold the hell out. You can't find that anywhere. AMD, that's going to be a trend. That's going to be in minutes. Those cars are going to be gone. I don't even want to waste my time trying to F5 a damn thing anymore. I'm just going to be honest with you because it's no fun. This is my first time ever trying to F5 something in my life, right? Trying to refresh and get one of these consoles online. I'm used to walking in the store So it's really hitting
Mhm.
me that this is the first generation I really had to, I must say that I had to put everything, I had to try to do things from another perspective. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? I had to
But
go
here,
online and try to wait with the masses. Nah, man, that ain't what I'm used to.
but here's another thing that I just thought about literally while we were talking. By
Yeah, go
time
ahead.
Black Friday hits, the PlayStation would have launched and the Xbox would have launched worldwide.
Worldwide.
So if we don't have stock now, here's my thing. Like we're out of stock here in the US. Okay. They're about to launch worldwide. How many are being shipped worldwide? Because like in Europe, it's not like all of Europe gets this many consoles. Each country gets a certain amount. Like prime example, when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out,
Mm-hmm.
they released sales of units that's going to be shipped, and France was planning on a massive sale of Pokemon Sword and Shield. So out of every country in Europe, France was getting the most of them. So
And see, and that's a good point. I mean, first of all, you can expect like for these consoles to double and triple in quantity, you know what I'm saying, in these other countries. You just can't expect that. That just wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't look right. You know what I mean?
no,
So
no,
that's
no,
not
I'm
gonna
not
happen. No, I'm
talking
saying
about
that's not
that.
gonna happen. I'm talking about the general, like for anybody that's wondering like how it's gonna go once it's worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Like those consoles are not gonna be widely available over there either.
That's what I'm.
Um,
That's what I'm saying. Right now,
yeah.
with us being in the sales that we're at right now, how many are around the world? Because, like I said, they launched this week.
And the fact that the US was they launched first, I just can't see other
And
territories.
then,
Maybe
no.
Japan
What
for the
I'm saying.
PS5, maybe Japan for the PS5 having more units
Oh, 1 minute. I got hiccups.
than America. You know what I'm
Excuse me.
saying? I don't know. I just know that I've never been here before. This is crazy. And then this is just scratching the surface for me, man, because I've been back and forth for a long time. I'm finally like 70-30.
Minute,
And
hold
that's
up. Ooh,
70%.
we got somebody new in the chat. We got Umar. Umar, what's going on?
What's going on, Umar?
Um, Umar, how is the PS5 killing it in the UK already? Considering I thought it launched on the 19th in the UK.
Yeah. Well, it might be as far as anticipation or something, or maybe we don't know. It's something we don't know as far as street dates being broken or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I mean that's the
elaborate.
thing.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
please
Umar
elaborate,
elaborate.
Umar. Please
Yeah.
elaborate on that because I thought they all launched worldwide for the
Um,
rest of the world on the 19th of November.
yeah. So that's what I saw too. But hey, let's find out.
Yeah, something new. Please elaborate on that, Umar.
But in the meantime, here's the
But
deal.
no, but here's what I'm saying. Okay, so we already know how it's selling and stuff here in the US, and we have Black Friday coming up.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is a lot of countries around the world have started doing their own Black Fridays. Like they've seen the success of it here in the US.
Hmm.
A lot of countries are doing it now around the time that we do ours. So if the PlayStation, that's what I'm saying. So if it sells out, let's say it sells out this week, right?
Yeah.
What are they going to do for stock the following week when it is Black Friday?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're going to withhold some consoles and ship them out specifically for Black Friday and whatever that quantity is.
That would be a good idea. Like
That's
for
what they're
even
probably
for
going
the
to do.
US, even for the US, that would be a good
Yep.
idea.
So
But
that
what
way
I
they
think,
can keep to their promise of more consoles being delivered. They never said there's going to be a whole lot more. They just said, "Hey, there's going to be consoles available on on that during that time period." You know,
right,
and
and
I'm
that's
sure
what
that's
I'm
what
saying.
Amazon, because you've been seeing Amazon, Best Buy, and all them, they're dried up. You know what I'm saying? Newegg, they're completely dried, right?
Dry.
So they're going to get their next stock around that time. Now, guess what that's going to do? That's going to create traffic. I don't like this shit. I don't like it because it puts a bad taste in my mouth, right? It's like
Mhm.
these they out here coordinating and stuff, right? Hey, man, let me tell you what I'm seeing. I'm here. I'm going to tell y'all the trends. You pay attention real quick. I want a GT. I want an RTX 3070 3080 car, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
Only way I can get one is in a damn PC. that's already built that's going to cost me $1,500 to $2,000 at least, right?
Yep.
I'm seeing that happening. I'm also seeing these stores now with these bundles like GameStop bundling the PS5, the Xbox Series X, and all that, right?
They did it
It's
with the
forcing us to
Nintendo
spend more
Switch
money.
too.
Like people got this extra money to be spending out here. It ain't cool. So that lets me know the quantities are not what we think they are, Bunny. I'm putting one
I
and one
already
together.
think they're low, so it
I'm
can't
putting
get
one and
any.
one together.
I can't get any lower in my opinion because I already think that the in the terms of the anticipation versus what they have, I already think it's non-existent. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, as I drink this water, I definitely do.
So I can't get any lower in my anticipation.
See, you laughing though. See, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna laugh about it,
No,
right?
but
You're
what
gonna
I'm
laugh at my
saying is
misery and all that, right?
I'm
Because I'm
not
not
laughing at
laughing.
your misery. I'm not
I'm
laughing
not
at
even
your
laughing though.
misery. I'm not laughing at your misery. I'm laughing at the fact of my like I changed my name on Twitter to Pessimistic Bunny.
Right.
I already
I
think the
saw
worst
that.
thing of everything.
I saw that.
Yeah, third-party games and exclusives are selling more on the PS5 in the UK despite not being out yet. Some
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up.
Okay,
Yeah.
despite not being out yet. Some numbers NBA 2K21, 63% PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X 14%, Sackboy 89%, PlayStation 4 11%, Miles Morales 71%, Miles Morales PlayStation 5, PS4 29%. That's why I will wait till next year to okay, that's Peach.
That's Peach. Yeah.
Peach. But okay, so the games are selling. So yeah, the
Because people
games
are
are selling
excited about the consoles coming.
exactly. They did the exact same thing with the so you know how you laugh about how the Switch had only one game at launch, which was Zelda Breath of the Wild,
Yes, I
right?
did. Yep.
But the exact same thing happened with Breath of the Wild. People were buying Breath of the Wild even though they couldn't get the consoles until the consoles came out because they wanted to get the game in case the game sold out. So, like I said, they're killing it sales wise with the games and stuff. But our thing is how many consoles are they going to have?
Yeah, they had the controllers out here first and all that. You know what I'm saying? To create some kind of happiness and excitement, right? How many people right now, Bunny, are sitting home with a damn controller or two or three and no damn console right now?
Exactly. I mean, people will do that. Like for me, with the next Switch, if they make the next Switch where I could play the games I have now and I can move my Animal Crossing with no problems, if the Switch sells out before I get it, it's whatever for me. But that people are anticipating it and they're happy for it. Okay, so Peach says this is why I will wait till next year to get my console, and I keep telling people, what's the point of buying next gen console when they're still going to have a lot of issues? And Umar says the PS5 is the inevitable.
Yeah. And see,
God damn it.
we'll see. We'll see if Umar's right about that one. I can't wait till the 19th to see what it does and how it does, and for people to
Worldwide,
bring
yeah, I'm
their
curious
report.
about it
Yeah.
worldwide.
Yep. Peach, I got to give you credit. You and Bunny, I must say it. I've been waiting for this night. I got to say it. I was stubborn. I was hard headed. You know what I'm saying? I was a damn tech. Got caught in the technological cloud dust. You know what I'm saying? But I will say right now that I got to apologize to you and Bunny because I was like, yo, the hell do y'all know? You know what I'm saying about this next gen? You think that Sony is not going to come out here after the blazing hot generation they had with the PS4? And I don't want to get too loud, Bunny, but I'm about to get hyped. You know what I'm saying?
Go for it.
You think that Xbox is not going to come out here and go out with a bang after they dropped the world's most powerful console in the Xbox One X, even though they killed it and all that stuff, but they was on fire. You know what I'm saying? They had bought all these games, the transaction. We'll just call it that. The transaction. Everybody knows. I'm like, yo, of course they're gonna come out with reliable consoles. Look at how reliable the Xboxes were, the ones. Of course, they got it in the bag. Do you see how they built this console? Even though they look like they stacked it, when I went back and watched the teardown, when I saw the rubber band holding stuff together, I was
Yeah,
like, "Yo,
I was like,
oh
oh,
money,
I'm shocked. Nobody, I am shocked.
oh money."
No Sony pony has got up here talking about your system held together by
With the
rubber band.
rubber, well, yo, the rubber band just kind of implied to me that something wasn't right. I don't know why it is
You
what
know
it
what?
is,
That
man. Who
could
am
be
I?
what's causing the smoking.
Who am I, man? Like,
No, Storm.
no,
That
it's not
could
the
be what's.
rubber. Nah, that rubber, it's not the rubber band. People would have been saying, yo, the rubber band is melting. And no, nah,
Well,
it's not
if
that.
somebody ain't open it up, how you know it's rubber? It's not melting. And if it's somebody who don't know that there's a rubber band in
Because
there,
it's on a component that doesn't get that hot. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Like, we got to look at it like an engineer. It's not on a part that would get so hot that it would melt
All that
that
damn
thick ass
thermal
rubber.
paste in that bit.
Yeah, yo, but listen, so we're not gonna do that.
Okay.
We're not gonna do that. All right. We're not gonna go in that direction. We're gonna
Peach laughing about the rubber band. Like literally,
no,
I
but
am
that
surprised that no diehard Sony fan that got up here after seeing that breakdown of the Series X is like, yo, why your console held together by rubber
hey,
band?
that rubber band is there for some type of stability. It's not a good look. It's like last minute I threw this shit together like a puzzle. And it is what it is. We got that big
Right.
cooler though. We got that big CPU cooler, the cool block. But check this out, man. That's facts. I'm sure even the Xbox diehard fans was wondering the same damn thing. I mean, the PS5, it has its thing too with the screw and the wobble. When you set that thing on the side, and it really is big as hell. So we could talk about both consoles.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We could talk about them all.
Yes.
It's an equal opportunity for the ass kicking. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, Bunny, going back to the thoughts, I was hoping that these consoles really would be reliable because the PS5 just looks so premium. I mean, you got to admit that it might be big as hell and it might not be. Some people thought it was ugly. I thought it was futuristic at first, and then I learned to dislike the look of it over time because I like for everything to be symmetrical. You know what I mean? Even and balanced and everything. And the disc tray just kind of like, I was like, I don't know about that disc tray. So it was kind of forcing me to get the digital if I were to ever get
Now,
one.
you know the one thing I hate about the PlayStation 5 console and controller?
What's that?
It's white.
Oh yeah, I don't like white controllers myself. I can't.
I hate white consoles and I hate white controllers.
Yeah, they get dirty and the rubber fell off my Elite controller.
I hate white controllers. I hate white consoles.
Yeah, I get that. I understand. Now, however, I like that 360 though. The design of the 360, that thing was sleek.
Oh, I always
how the
said
PS5 was supposed to be. You see how even that 360 is when you stand it straight up with the power button at the bottom. You click that bad boy. Hey, Stadia Pro Gaming, I see you down there. What's going on, bro?
What's up, Stadia Pro? What's going on?
So the 360, we all can agree it was just a well-designed console. Now, even though it had the red ring of death, we don't have to get into that. That's old news. But it's leading up to the new news, Bunny. We talked about this. We talked about this stuff. I sat there and listened to you on Scram Punks. Yeah, you got defeated. You got dominated. I'm gonna say that. You got dominated. Yeah, we hear you, but yeah, whatever, Bunny. I even said I thought these consoles were gonna come out and be in it. All right, I don't know the percentage.
And
I just know that people are having issues, and I had an issue late with my Xbox One X where it went to the black screen after I set it to 120 hertz. Now I bought 120 hertz native display, the Samsung Q80T. I keep telling people like I have this TV. That's how I'm playing these games. I recently found that I could play Stadia at 120 hertz, which is a frequency and not the FPS now. See, people have to understand what to look for and what to listen for, right? 120 hertz just makes everything smooth. Let's just keep it in layman's terms, right? Keep it as simple as possible. It makes everything smooth. So, Bunny, if you're playing Animal Crossing and you're cycling through your inventory, if you had 120 hertz display, you'll be like, damn, I'm cycling through my inventory so fast. Or if you're moving, so the same thing if you're moving a thumbstick to play Splatoon or whatever, right?
That's
Everything.
already. I'm gonna be straight honest with you. I can't handle that any faster. I
Hey,
actually have
wait a
to cut
minute.
down.
Damn it.
I
Wait
have
a
to cut
minute.
down my sensitivity on that because
Wait
it
a
moves
minute.
super fast now.
Bunny, come on, Bunny. We didn't even get what time is it? Hold on.
But wait a
6:34.
minute.
We didn't
Wait a
even
minute.
get
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Bunny, we didn't even get an hour in yet. And I'm trying to give you credit and props and trying to get you to try
I
something and look
I
at things from a different angle. Bunny, come on now. Come on, Bunny.
I know. But wait a minute. One thing. Thank you,
What's up?
Stadia Pro, for the sub. Thank you so much for the sub.
Well, hey, we definitely appreciate that. Hey, this
Hey.
good family over here, man. This is how we do it on the low. This right here is like the jazz club, the warm and cuddly jazz club. The small crowd. We don't care. We take pride in what we do over here, man. We don't have to have 1,000 numbers and 1,000 viewers at one time. You know what I'm saying? This right here is going to give you what you want. You don't have to clamor for attention over here. Go ahead, though, Bunny.
And Charles also said, as MM said in the recent episode of Lyrics to Go, and adding to it, if sales and hardware don't perform after the holidays, do we see another Atari situation?
Oh,
Mm.
Speaking of Atari, shout out to Atari. When y'all dropping that bad boy, the new Atari?
And
You know what I'm saying?
Umar says, good thing you can customize the faceplates of the PS5. We hope you can customize the faceplates
Yeah,
because Sony sent a cease and desist order to platestation.com to stop making those plates for the PS5.
yeah, man. Somebody's gonna get artistic and they'll do some under the table, behind the scenes stuff, and you ship it down the street to Big Willie. You know what I'm saying? Big Willie got you. Like somebody's gonna come up with something, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want the black one to come. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Now, if a black one comes out, that would, because like I said, I can't stand white
Yeah,
console.
I don't like the way it's gonna clash with everything in my entertainment system right in the center right now, to tell you the truth. And I just got like a glass
It's clashing
stand,
with my whole
futuristic.
house.
Go. I don't what I everything's black. They don't make white audio AV receivers. They don't make
White
white TV
speakers
bezels and
or
speakers.
white
They might
surround
make white speakers,
sounds.
but yeah, but you get the point. Most of the stuff
They
is
don't make
black or
white
black trim.
TVs.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So a black console will just fit, and when the lights are dim or off, it just disappears. That's what you
And
want.
you want to know what's so spooky about my house?
What's that?
I have a huge skylight in my living room.
Yeah.
So my skylight, when like there's a full moon and stuff, it lights up my whole living room.
I know.
So can you imagine that stark
'Cause
white system? That's the only white thing in my living room.
Yep.
Getting lit up by the moonlight, looking all spooky over there.
No,
in the corner.
I know what you're talking about. I've definitely been in several houses that had them, but so you're right. But check this out. The black one, it would be, I think it'll look better. I don't think it'll look as big for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it would just disappear a little bit better. Because a lot of people are getting them and they're like, damn, it's tall. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you stand at vertical or horizontal. I don't know why some people were thinking like, yo, if I lay it down, it'll just look smaller. Hell no. Nah. It's just gonna take up more.
Wider.
Yeah, it's gonna be more width. So, and then the stand thing. Come on, Sony. So I can go at both of them as far as the design of the whole thing, right? It's just, come on, y'all. Yeah, I know y'all. They know they were supposed to go smaller, but they couldn't. I guess they couldn't go smaller.
I guess
Bunny.
because of, you got to think about it. Look at the size of the PS4, and the way it sounded. They probably had to put something in it to cancel out the noise, and that might be why it's taller. We don't know until we see a full. Wait a minute. I wonder if our boy done a tear down of it.
Who? Spawnway?
Yeah. But
hey,
anyway,
he might have.
But continue on. I'm sorry I interrupted you and things like that. Please forgive me for my interruption.
Nah, it's all good because we know it'll happen again.
Of course, but still.
But check it. I mean, so if you really think about it, though, at first I was like, yo, they're trying to piss people off to get rid of these boxes, boy. Now, this is just Project Storm, the cloud gamer thinking right now. This is the cloud gamer in me right now. Oh, yeah, let's piss them off, Bunny. Let's give them some big ass boxes, right? that's not gonna, because they know how wives are, right? Certain wives and some of the dudes too. They're like, yo, man, I don't like that. What? A big white ass console right here in the middle, and I gotta look at it all the time. And if I close the door, it's gonna overheat. Come on, man. How does that make sense though? I'm just saying, if I close the door and hide it in my entertainment stand or whatever, it's gonna overheat, possibly. So now they knew what they were doing.
Our boy has a teardown video of it.
Uh-oh. So I'm not, I'm after the show, I'll check it out. I don't even want to go get sidetracked.
Shout out to Spawn Wave for always doing the most excellent teardowns of everything.
Yeah. So but yeah, man, I mean, I think that they're just trying to get people to go to the cloud eventually, man, with these consoles. I just can't understand, like, with all this technology, all these designs they could have chosen. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is your Xbox One X more futuristic looking and sleek than your new Xbox? And then the PS5, like the PS4 Pro, even though some people didn't like the look of it, I love the look of it. You know what I'm saying? I liked it. I don't know. It was just something about it.
I thought the PS4 looked awesome. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought, is that the one with the slanted front?
Yeah, the slanted front.
Yeah, I thought that looked awesome.
So did I. So but then you go much bigger than that. I'm like, damn, with more updated technology, man. I don't know. Hey, look, I'm done with all that. Look, we got to move on.
And then we also have Stadia Pro saying it sounds like a UFO abduction. I guess with the skylight and the moon coming through. And
And
then we have Peach saying, it's true, there's not a lot of white everything, but I could find hella pink shit.
Yeah.
And then Stadia Pro was saying, yeah, he does. And he puts his own liquid metal. When he goes into there, he puts his own. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna see what happens. Like I said, we're gonna check out that video afterwards.
Right. I'm telling you now.
It's crazy right now with everything. And then let's flip side it. We've heard on the PlayStation 5 side the issues they're having. We're hearing that people are warning people not to put their PS5s in rest mode because it's bricking the system or doing something crazy to the system.
And of course, it's not in all cases now. We have to throw that disclaimer. It's not in all cases.
It's not in all cases,
enough cases for them to make videos.
Yeah, the absolute fail ratio. There's always going to be some consoles that do stuff, but people are warning people not to do that. What else have you heard from the PS5 camp?
Man,
I've heard that they're making.
I heard that they're overheating. Like, I know Chris Smooth. I was gonna say Kid Smooth, but Chris Smooth from big NBA 2K. But that's how I know him, from 2K and all that, man. Big YouTuber, and out here playing 2K21, man, trying to create his character and everything as his player. And the system was overheated like 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
I'm like, wow. So he couldn't even finish the character creation process or whatever. So so people are starting to show this. See, here's the thing about social media now and cell phones. People will start showing what's going down. That's why now when you call in for customer service or whatever, they'll say, hey, sir or ma'am, can you take a picture of that and send it to us? And once you send them that video, they don't have any problems. Yeah, well, we're going to send you this. Like with my Stadia, with the CCU, I felt like it was getting a little bit too warm, right? So I said, yo, man, I'm not trying to have no CCU felling on me and all that. And I saw Spawn Wave's teardown of the CCU and the thermal paste, right? So I'm like, oh, let me just send this thing back because it's a little bit too hot for my liking. Now, that was at the time. Now, I didn't realize it was designed to get that damn warm. So I was like, nah, I don't like it. I've never had an electronics device get as hot as this. And they took it back. Boom. Took that thing back. They sent me a whole new Founders Edition before I shipped this one. I mean, my other one back, the defective one. I had 2 sitting here, took a picture of both of them. So that's good customer service, by the way. Shout out to Stadia for that. But now you have proof, is what I'm saying, Bun.
Yes, and then Umar, let's see here. Umar said, well, at least they addressed the jet engine noise of the PS4, but then there's a coil noise I'm hearing about something rattling inside.
Yeah, that coil.
And then Umar also says PS4 Pro was Sony's last airlines console. Charles says, I think I know why they chose white. Haha, it's a retro feel. Early
Yeah,
tech always has issues, Umar says. Very true, Umar. We already know early tech has issues. And then
but because we know that early tech has issues, now I'm gonna ask you, Bunny, whoever else want to answer this. Then why the hell y'all selling them full price then? Why?
um
I already know the answer, but come on, man. Like
I
if you're
mean
just gonna, if you know that these things are all right, I know they don't know the defect, the number of defective
ratio.
product, yeah, ratio and all that stuff, man. But when you fail to, some of these people couldn't get disc in the Series X. When I started seeing stuff like that, man, you mean to tell me you didn't test this damn disk drive before you ship that thing out to somebody? Like some people might not have an opportunity to get their systems fixed in time for the holidays. If you're talking about you got a shortage of consoles, that's not cool.
I mean, here's the thing about that. You, I, and everybody else knows they want to make as much. They're trying to make as much money as they can, and then that way they have the money to fix the
And
defective
that's
or
why I
replace the
said
defective.
discount that thing for at least return customers, whatever. If you had an Xbox and we could prove it, and you've been with us for this long, $50 off the price of the console. At least $50 off the price of the damn console. They see that you've been spending thousands on games. That's the least they could do. But I understand they need that
Mhm.
money. They need their money like we don't need ours. But hey, it is what it is, man.
Exactly. But
It is what
that's
it is.
one thing about buying the launch of any console that makes me leery because knowing my luck, I will get a busted system. I just know my luck.
No, that's my luck. That's my luck.
And they said, well, some people. Okay, so Umar says, okay, so Stadia Pro says yes, it usually does have issues. Umar says the coil noise can be fixed. Well, some people are getting a year or two warranty for their PS5s. But there's some people out here who are just like the people who refuse to pre-order games. Some people refuse to buy warranties. I
That's
mean,
true. And I'm one of them.
I'm
I
famous
take
for
my
that.
chance. I'm like, yo, if it don't fail in a year, it's probably a good one, you know?
Yeah, I take my chance because you get the warranty from the system on themselves. I take a chance, so I don't usually buy warranties either. The only thing I buy warranties on lately has been my cell phone, and the reason I do that for my cell phone is because I have Straight Talk, and I have to buy my cell phone outright. But I've had bad phones, and they basically replace my entire phone for free, no matter what you do to it, water damage, anything. So I typically been buying my warranties for my phones, but that's about it. That's the only thing I buy warranties for. I don't buy them for appliances. I don't buy them for technology. I don't do warranties because they're
Yeah, I
the
did.
biggest scams there is.
Yep, I did it for my phone too. Like, I'm gonna tell you something. I bought one for my subwoofer as well. I have the home theater subwoofer and all that. So I bought one for that because I'm like, okay, for some reason, if it stops, I don't know why I bought the damn warranty because it's a subwoofer. It's designed to take a beating, right? And I'm never gonna crank it up that loud that it's gonna blow. But
I
you never
still
know.
got my
And it
subwoofer
came
from
with a
10 years
3-year
ago.
warranty. Yeah, it came with a 3-year warranty. But I was thinking that okay, something happens to it, I take it back. They won't have the old model in the store anymore. I want the new model now. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm not gonna give away my secret, but and I don't do that stuff all the time. What I'm saying is it could happen. Like if they don't have your product in store when
Hmm.
and you bought that warranty, then they have to give you a comparable model or whatever. So that's why buying the warranty makes a lot of sense in certain cases.
Right. Um, but yeah, that goes into, like I said, each console has their issues right now. Wait till if you haven't gotten a console yet and you still want one, I would wait till the next wave of consoles because they might have fixed the issues.
Yeah,
Um, but we it's just going to be a wait and see, and we don't know right now. It's still too soon to say if these are easily fixable issues or if it's just something like with the Red Ring of Death and the Xbox 360. We don't know yet. Time will tell. But that also goes into I've been watching some videos out here from different people who have both the Series X and the PlayStation 5, and they're telling you if you don't know which console to get or if you haven't gotten both of them, some of them are saying that really right now is not really the time to upgrade because it's not showing any difference. What do you have to say on that, Storm?
I think they're right because again, if you look at the proof is out there. The big YouTubers are dropping this footage out here, and so you can see. I know Call of Duty is one of those games that people were complaining about in the chat of this one, and I dropped the link. I can't remember exactly who the YouTuber is, but
Mhm.
yeah, people in the chat was like, "Yo, man, I should have known," and they were going at Activision's neck, like, "Yeah, same game, looks the same. I should have known. It's Activision, blah blah blah." Better off with my PS4 Pro. And I see where they're coming from because see, a lot of us are gonna look at it like 120 hertz, man. 120 hertz is gonna make everything better, man. It's gonna make life much better. But how many people are gonna have 120 hertz displays to play these damn consoles on? That's the thing. So I would say that
And
percentage is probably gonna be less than 5, you know.
Umar said, okay, so Stadia Pro says, glad I found you, Bunny. I will be tuning in and bugging you a ton. Love the personality. Thank you, Stadia Pro. Also, Stadia Pro, if you don't want to always watch our old episodes on YouTube, you can go on to radiopublic.com and find Ying Meets Yang of Gaming on there. We are on there, so you can listen to us anywhere.
Yeah.
Um,
Like when you're getting ready to play Cyberpunk 2077 next month or whatever, you could tune
You
in
can
while you're
just tune in.
playing some good
They
music.
have, I believe, Radio Public has an app for iOS and for Android where you could just stream it right through your phone. Just look for Ying Meets Yang of Gaming. Most of our older episodes are right on there. Then we're going into Umar. Umar says, I will wait till next year. I mean, Demon Souls look next gen. Spider-Man Miles Morales look a lot better too, especially in the fidelity mode with ray tracing on. Hey,
Wrong
Ron Yeezy,
Yeezy
what's up?
in
Hey,
the building.
Squid. Hey,
Superstar, man. We
Squiddy.
got some superstars rolling up right now. I'm trying to tell you, coming through.
Yeah, so we got
The good
Squiddy.
old community, man. The good old community, the Stadia community. They're feeling real good over there. Let's switch tracks for a little minute. Can we do that?
Well, let me get this
Oh,
message
go
real
ahead. Get
quick
that
from
message. Get that message.
Charles. I'm saying hi, Wrong Yeezy. Hello, Squid. Um, Charles says, hearing about all of these, I'm in a good place with gaming, especially hearing stuff like this. I can play Switch for Nintendo exclusives and use cloud gaming for AAA bangers. And Charles, have you tried Control on Switch through the
Oh
cloud?
man.
It's
It's dope.
actually really good and smooth. I actually prefer the performance enhancing mode and not the graphic enhancing mode when I tried it.
Yeah, I saw her try it too. So I'm like, man, performance is smooth. I can't lie.
Welcome. Well, I'm glad you're off work, Squid, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for tuning in. And
Yeah.
then Squid is saying that's how he's agreeing with Charles. That's how he's gaming right now. All right, so go ahead and what were we talking about there, real quick?
Now, I was just
Oh,
gonna
you were
say
talking
because
about. Oh, you want to
y-
switch to Stadia.
yeah, real quick, because we were gonna with
What's
everything
going
we were
on
talking about,
Stadia?
all that's going on with Stadia right now. I
Are they
mean,
still
look,
doing their promotion?
the promotion is sold out in the US. They sold all, or they gave away all of the
Oh, I hope you
the,
guys,
the
if you
stock that
guys
they had.
have YouTube Premium, Stadia was giving away a controller and something. If you have YouTube
The Premier
Premium,
Edition, yeah, it
they
came
were
with the
giving.
Chromecast Ultra and the controller. That's all you
Yes,
need
so
to
I'm
play on the TV.
hoping if you guys have it, you guys were able to jump in on it and get yourself a free controller and a free Chromecast if you have YouTube Premium. I don't have YouTube Premium, so I was not able to partake in that.
But let me tell you what that did, right? What it did was it opened the eyes of a lot of people who were skeptical, who got their hands on it. And see, free makes a big difference. It makes a huge difference,
Exactly.
right? So when people are like, Stadia's free, they're giving it away because they can't sell it. Yeah, okay.
No, that's not the
All
reason they
right.
were giving it away. I mean, I was not that naive in thinking that they were giving it away to get people because they can't sell it. It's just
And
like when you
they
go into
subscribe to YouTube Premium already, so they're paying something. You know what I mean?
exactly. It's I equate that giveaway as like when you go into a store and they're trying to buy you a food, so they have free samples that you can try. That's how I equated that giveaway. I didn't equate it as they couldn't sell it. I equated it as they want people to try it and then talk about it and move on from there.
And look, when you look at the fact that it can't cost that much for these things to be manufactured, look how much the CCU costs in stores. You know what I'm saying? It's not $300-400. It's not even $100. You know, so if you look at that, I mean, Google is in a position right now where they could just send out millions of these things, though, Bunny. Like I'm talking about
I mean, look at the
millions of
chat.
these things.
Look at the chat. We have Charles saying he tried the demo. He's thinking of buying Control. He said, I saw a premiere edition on Facebook Marketplace today. It was sealed. I wonder how many bought multiple to sell. I think you were only able to get one per subscription. Squid says 12 real life personal friends got a kit. Umar, games at the end of the console's life cycle always look a lot better than the launch games. And
That's
then
true.
Stadia Pro says, boom,
That's
Squid,
right.
best promo I've ever seen in gaming. Yeah, you're right, because like I said, everybody was like, oh, I get this for free if I have premium. Well, let me get it for free and try it.
Right.
And then Charles says, starting that in the middle of a launch week was
Poignant.
poignant. Yes.
Yeah. So
And then Umar says, take PlayStation 4 launch or earlier games, compare Infamous Second Son, Killzone Shadowfall, and The Last of Us Remastered to Death Stranding, The Last of Us 2, and Ghost of Tsushima. Night and day difference. Well, yeah, that's always how it's going to be. Because the designers, not the designers, what am I trying to think? The developers now, by the end of a console's life cycle, whether it's Nintendo, PlayStation, Sony, by the end of their life cycle, those developers and things know the tech in and out. They probably dream about the tech in their sleep. So yeah, the games are going to look totally different. Launch titles versus later gen titles.
Let me ask you
Yes.
this.
What's up?
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now we were talking about the Switch, and you were kind of like thinking that the Switch triggered this whole next gen movement, or you think the Nintendo next gen really don't start until Nintendo says so, kind of, sort of speak.
Well, if you think about it, look at the last couple of gens. The Wii U dropped, and then a year later, the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation. They were talking about the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation whatever. Then you fast forward 5 years, the Switch drops another console 5 years after the Wii U, and 2017. Then all of a sudden, we start getting talks about PlayStation 5 and and Xbox, the next Xbox series after Nintendo drops their consoles. So my thing is Nintendo, some people feel that Nintendo is like the 0.5 of a console generation because they always drop their new consoles before the competition drops theirs. And typically, usually there's no talk of a new console from these companies, I notice, until after Nintendo drops a console.
I just don't. I'm thinking about it, right? And I'm really trying to make sense out of the whole thing. And Nintendo, I think Nintendo is going to get their money. I think each of them have their own segments where they know that they're going to. Nintendo knows that they're going to hit a certain number as long as they deliver the hardware and the games. They're going to hit that number, right? Same thing with Sony. They know that they're going to hit a certain number based on the decades that they've done well in. They know what they're going to be capable of hitting. All they got to do is deliver. Microsoft, however, they have to work a little bit harder because they don't have the love in the other territories. Now that's seeming like it's going to change this generation, right? But they have to always work a little bit harder to get to where they need to be as far as success goes and numbers and
Um,
consoles sold and all that stuff. So
I
I
don't even
think
think
even
that.
they are more comfortable now, Bunny,
I don't
with
even
their
think
numbers.
that because you got to think about it like this. Look at what Nintendo had. The Wii U gen was worse than the Xbox One. Let's keep it real. The Wii U was an awful gen
Uh-huh.
compared to the Xbox One. Nintendo had to do a lot of work compared to the Xbox One.
Yeah, for the first
Um,
time in how long?
huh?
For the first
They're
time in how long?
always think about it like this. They're pretty much they got cocky with the Wii U after the success of the Wii. Okay, that's the reason the Wii U was so abysmal. Okay. Um, let's see what was before the Wii.
You had the
GameCube.
GameCube.
Okay, the GameCube sold decently, but it was nowhere near the success of the handhelds, the DS.
Nope.
So they've always for Nintendo is always an uphill battle. Always. Now the Switch has lessened that to some degree, but for them versus the tech wise, it's always an uphill battle for them.
So I'm concerned now whether they're going to give us like Switch 1.5 with this next console, or are they finally going to go all out and say,
See,
boom,
if they go all out, then they're ending their generation early and starting the next generation. That's what I'm saying. When Nintendo does big things, because think about every system they've had, they've never really done a mid-gen refresh. Think
yeah,
about their consoles in the past. Nintendo does not do mid-gen refreshes.
yet.
When they come out with a new console, it's an all new console.
Yeah, that's true with new innovation or whatever the case is. But
Exactly.
so that'll be fine. But like, okay, so now you're saying that they're setting themselves up to launch in another 2 to 3 years then because they're not going to rush it because the Switch just
I
launched a
think
couple
what
years ago.
they're well, the Switch is going into its fourth year.
Well,
If they're going to come out with a whole new layup and design, that'll be 2022. Because that would be 5 years since the Switch launched.
all I'm saying, Nintendo, hey, look, just drop something, please. I drop that 4K machine that does DLSS and all that. Like you already partner with Nvidia, make it happen. It's going to happen. I think it's safe to say it's going to happen. Nintendo is done with all this stuff. Like, yeah, we need our games to run like that. I think they're done with all that. They want the games to run better. They're gonna go ahead and take advantage of this Nvidia hardware and whatever and do what
Yeah,
they have.
because I mean, the Tegra chip, they've already improved on the I think if they do a 1.5, it's going to be improving the Tegra chip or putting a different chip in. Let's get some of these comments here. We have Squid saying, and the best part of the majority of those were PC PlayStation 4 players. Squid also says, if that matters, LOL, some of my Xbox and Switch friends are more dedicated to repair the Wii U damage. And Squid is saying 2 to 3 years. I guess you're saying you think they have another good 2 to 3 years. Umar says the GameCube sold 20 million. Squid says I think Switch has a good 2 years left, and the next gen is for them is like every 5 to 6 years. About exactly, Squid. They change consoles every 5 to 6 years. Hello, Fatal. How are you? Going great. Welcome to the chat tonight, Fatal.
What's up, Fatal? Yeah.
Fatal, were you able to snatch any of the new graphics cards that came out, because Stormy here missed out on them?
Yeah,
And are you looking for it, or are you going to snatch an AMD when it launches on Wednesday? Let us know. Inquiring minds are super
I
curious.
mean, because I know I'm not. My hopes are down. I can't online. I can't get lucky. Now I can say this, right? I can say, Bunny, that I got an opportunity to grab one of the CPUs, like the Ryzen 5800X, and I was like, man, should I pull the trigger on this thing? I should have gotten one to sell it or whatever, but I was like, man, I'm not going to build no whole rig right now. If I can't get my hands on a GPU, that won't make any sense. But anyway,
And then Charles says Switch has NVIDIA hardware. Does it have DLSS? I have an OG. I don't think it has DLSS, Charles, because I have an OG Switch like you, and my mom has a new Switch, and the only difference that we can really tell is the battery life in them. Fatal says, nope, I'm waiting for the big Navi on Wednesday. One of the guys at Best Buy gave me the hookup on some bots. Nice.
ooh, okay. All right. Well, holla at me, man, if you can get your hands on one. Hey, look, I just want any car. I don't even care. I'll take a 38. I don't want the 3070 because I want to have a little bit more overhead when it comes to 4K gaming, man. I'm going 3080 or 6800 XT. That's how I'm feeling right now, if I can.
So yes, so we got the big Navi coming out on Wednesday. Like I said, Switch, if they're going to come out with all new hardware, expect it in 2022. They might start talking about it next year, but expected 2022, 2023. I'm agreeing with Squid. They change their hardware every 5 to 6 years.
So let me ask you this.
Which would put them at a half step, like I said, a half step in generations. They're not generation whatever or generation whatever. They're generation whatever 0.5 because they're coming out halfway through. Because, like, think about it. If they launch let's say they launch a brand new console in 2022, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X would have already been out almost 3 years.
Yeah.
So what gen does that fall in? And also with the Switch, you got to think about it like this. The Wii U was classified part of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. It was classified as part of that generation. Mm-hmm. So you're saying Nintendo came out with 2 generations in one generation versus one generation of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One?
Hey, I feel like they had to.
I mean, well, like I said, they killed the Wii U in 5 years, which is typical. Like we're saying, every 5 to 6 years, they get a new generation.
Well, I need that 5th year to come on because I want to see what they got. That's all. But see, I don't know. I need to change my way of thinking because it's already gotten me in trouble. I stay getting in trouble, but I don't know. But now talking about these new GPUs and all this stuff and the CPUs on.
Oh, wait a minute. We didn't even talk about Stadia. We just talked about that promotion they had.
Oh yeah, the promotion was dope. But they've been doing big things though across the board. Like Stadia's been, they gave away the free premieres for YouTube Premium. They had the Good Stuff campaign that launched like a couple weeks ago or whatever. They've linked up with Verizon and like BT over in the UK, I think. T-Mobile and other people to give away to get these Stadias in the hands of these gamers out there, right? So they've been making some strides. And people think that some people think that they're sitting still and they're not doing enough, but I think they're doing just right. Then you think about the Cyberpunk announcement. Ubisoft Plus is coming to the platform soon, hopefully within the next week or two. I don't know. I think it might. I'm hoping it doesn't fall back into December though for the Ubisoft Plus because a lot of people are waiting on that. They want to take advantage of it, and you want to try and capitalize on that while people are excited about it. Then you got other games like Star Wars coming to the platform, which is an EA game. So with that being said, I think it's safe to say that Madden and I know FIFA, they were talking about is coming in 2021. So maybe Madden to follow to 2021. I won't be buying it if it drops in 2021. That's for sure, because the season will damn near be over. I don't know. If it's not January 2021, I'm not looking for the Madden. I'm not looking for the FIFA.
Well, you're already playing Madden.
Hey, listen, I know, but I didn't play it that heavy because my Xbox died. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. You about to lose
I made it to the top 100, which is all I really care about every year. I make it to the top 100, then I let the game slide. I fall back down the leaderboards, but I get the footage, I get the screenshot, and that's what I like to do with Madden. But in the Stadia community, I was ready to be the number one, the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Man, the GOAT of Madden. You hear what I'm saying? That's me. Um,
But I mean, like I said, if it's 2021, I would, if it launches if you're thinking it's going to launch in 2021, I'm
I'm
betting it's going
saying,
to be
like,
the
due to a report
2022
that Duncan, this
version.
cat Duncan dropped, he was saying that it said something about 2021. Now,
Then I'm
I think
wondering if
that
it's going to be Madden 2022 that drops though, because they
nah,
always
nah,
come out a
nah.
year
It's gonna
early.
have to be 21 because it didn't drop on the platform yet. And then, like, I'm hoping Battlefield will come and all the like EA Play. I was thinking that EA Play, it made sense for EA Play to come around the same time that Ubisoft Plus did before the end of like before December 31st. It just would make sense because EA Play have already announced they're coming to the platform. That would be huge. People to like, think about how if people can play Titanfall and Battlefield and all these Apex Legends and all these games that EA has, right? That would just be huge for Stadia. So I still think that can happen before the end of this year. So don't be surprised if you see that move happen out of nowhere. Because Stadia has a couple more surprises up its sleeve. Like we know how they like to do things. They still drop all the time. So with that being said, I think they're in position. Like there are a lot of people on Twitter. I know you've been seeing the tweets, Bunny, here and there, like people getting their hands on these premiere editions, and they're finding out that
Mhm.
Stadia is not as laggy. It's not the laggy mess that some people thought, was saying that it was
Right.
and stuff like that. They're finding out that it's a good way to play. One dude compared it to like PC. And I can confirm by saying that I tried the platform again. I tried it in 120 hertz on my computer in the Chrome browser, and it felt just like my PC. I'm talking about just like when I plug my controller into my PC. It's impressive.
And then we have Squiddy talking. EA waves are going to start coming. Yes, Squid. They started with the Switch, deciding to put stuff on the Switch. They're going to start moving to Stadia also. And then he also says plus FIFA 2021 in June.
Yeah,
Ah,
in
and then
June.
he chuckles about it. And then while we're talking about games here, real quick, y'all, I just want to tell y'all if y'all have a Switch and you play Railway Empire, they have added 2 new DLCs to Railway Empire if you guys like that game on the Switch.
Wow.
Sorry.
So let's talk about some of these next gen games, Bunny. Shall we?
Sure. Let's start out.
All right, let's go with Demon Souls first on the Metacritic. You know what I mean? Looking like a 93 on the Metacritic. Demon Souls is
Was
a
that
game that has.
game a PS3 game?
I knew you was gonna go there.
No, I'm asking, was it a
Yeah, it was. It
PS3
was
or a
definitely a
PS4
PS3
game?
game. Yeah, I think it was on the
Okay,
PS3 for
it was a
sure. Because
remake of it was
I
a
remember
remake of
playing
it.
it. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
playing it. And I used to. There was a way that you can unplug the Ethernet cord and not lose your progress. And we found that out kind of late. Me and Kenny from Watch Kenny Die. So, but that was like one of the hardest games I ever played. But it spawned like a series of different Soulsborns. That's what they call them, Soulsborne games right now, And the games are dope. And Demon Souls look like the most next gen game to me. Spider-Man looks impressive and all that stuff. My son has it for the PS4. He's already run through the whole DLC. He's 8 years old. He loved it. You know what I'm saying? I can't. But Demon Souls looks, and I don't know if it's sad or if it's a good thing to say that Demon Souls is Godfall looks shiny, but Demon Souls look like the most impressive next gen game that I've seen so far.
And Umar is asking, do you guys think we'll get a PS5 Pro 3 years later? Most likely to fix
Probably.
any issues that the regular PS5 has. Squid thinks it's going to be in 4 years. Charles says, my brother-in-law got a 3070. We have a friend who works for NVIDIA. Charles, you need to get up with Storm and try to hook him up because he is fiending over here.
Yeah, man. Let me get a 30, 70 or 80 or 90. Actually, I had my hands on a 3070. Bunny was in the chat. We was in a meeting getting ready to do our show on Wednesday. The commission was getting ready to do that at 8 o'clock on Wednesday, but YouTube was tripping, right? So me, MM2K, I went on Newegg and I saw that some 3070s were live. So I was like, yo, man, there's some 3070s. Before I knew it, MM2K had already jumped on the damn card and took them, but they had a couple more. They had a couple more extras after that, but he had already purchased the card. So here I am trying to spam. Like I'm like, yo, I can't put it in my card. I
Well,
can't.
no. You're not being
All
100%
right. Well, tell
truthful
me what
there.
happened then. Tell me what happened.
You found the card and you went and chatted with your wife
Yeah, I sure
to
did. No,
make
that was
sure
after the fact.
no, because you had to make sure it was okay for you to buy it.
Oh
And
yeah, I
then when
guess
you
you're right.
came back,
I went
it
a
was
couple times.
sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I went a
Charles,
couple times because she knows I want to buy everything at one time. I want the PlayStation, I
uh-huh.
want the Xbox, I want the card, I want a new PC, I want a whole lot of different things. So, my wife
He's
is the
a kid in a
accountant.
candy store.
My wife is the accountant in the house, so she does all the, all the books and everything. So I was like, yo, I like to let her know when I'm about to buy something so she could be like, nah, you sure? Because she's seen me waste money before, and that's something she doesn't want me to do.
Yeah, and see, and by the time you came back after discussing it, it has sold out.
She was like,
But
you
so
just got a
Charles,
TV, you just got the PC, you just got all these games for Stadia. She's keeping tabs, man. But hey, we do our own thing. We both have jobs. We make our own money. It is what it is. But we have joint accounts. See, I'm smart about that.
yes.
Joint account. Yeah, go ahead.
So Charles, if you could get Storm to hook up, he going through tech withdrawals over here. Then we have Umar saying, yes, a remake of the PS3 version. Charles asked me, how is Cloudpunk? I have not played Cloudpunk yet. I haven't even opened it yet, actually. I've been super busy knitting this weekend. Umar says Demon Souls has a 30 frame per second and a 60 frames per second mode. Umar says, yes, Demon Souls is the best looking next gen game so far. Charles said, I probably shouldn't have said that, but anyway. And Squid's laughing. Squid's like, new car, me too.
Yep.
Checks and balances. Umar says, next year, PlayStation 5 has Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, which you can also get on the PlayStation 4, God of War Ragnarok, Ratchet and Clank Rifts Apart, Gran Turismo 7, Returnal Destruction,
Yep.
Destruction All Stars, and potentially I don't think Final Fantasy 16 is coming that soon.
You think it's going to be 2022?
I think it might be longer because you got to think about it like this. The same team that worked on Final Fantasy 15 got moved to work on Final Fantasy 7 Remake. They still got another part of Final Fantasy 7 Remake to make.
I can see that. Okay. Late 2021.
So I'm thinking Final Fantasy 16 is going to be 2022 at least because we still waiting on the part 2 to Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Yeah.
So and usually it takes the guy who's the developer of it or whatever, it takes him damn near a decade to make a game. That's why these games were so late coming out. But Horizon Forbidden West is going to also be on the PlayStation 4. They have confirmed. The rest of those, though, I think are all strictly PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. After seeing what they did to God of War and Ghost of Tsushima and Bloodborne and Killzone and these other games that they're being enhanced, Bunny, see, it kind of brings me back over to the dark side. It kind of makes me want to say, damn, man. Because I held off on these games so long. I held off intentionally so I could jump on because I knew that these consoles was going to be bumping these games up in performance, certain games, right? I just knew it, and when I see that happening, it cuts at me, man, that I don't have my hands on it because I really want to go through those great games. Days Gone, look, Days Gone now running at 60 FPS or very close to that. Days Gone, a game that was notoriously like plagued by issues and stuff when it launched. Mm-hmm. Like, man, come on. And I love the game. I love the fact that it was cool, but it had some latency to it, though. You like when you were controlling it, trying to drive the bike and everything, you could feel the latency. And that's what 60 FPS and 120 FPS cleans up in these games.
Umar says Ratchet and Clank Rifts Apart is a PlayStation 5 only. Is Insomniac confirmed. Red Raven, welcome. Hey, Red Raven. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the show. Days Gone, and then Umar says Days Gone is locked at 60 frames per second on the PS5.
Wow. See, and that right there it just made a tear come, like my left eye is watery. Because I'm telling you, like, that's why I don't like to wait. And that's why the people that jump in early, that's why they jump in. Nobody wants to get hit with a defective console, but they take the chance. They roll that die. They roll the
Mm-hmm.
die. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, give me a 6. Give me a 6. And some people
But
get the 6, some people get the 5, some people get the 4, some people get that 1, you know?
but here's the thing you got to think about also. Get on the flip side of it.
Let's get on the flip side.
You had an option to pre-order, but you have a thing about something. I don't pre-order anything.
I don't pre-order
Does
anything. I
it?
walk in the
But
store and get it.
but does this change because of this pandemic and shit? Does this change your view on pre-orders? Like for me, you know where we live at. I
Yeah,
pre-order. You know, I play a lot of games you never fucking heard of.
right.
Problem is with those games you never fucking heard of, unless I buy a lot of physical.
Yep.
Unless I pre-order it, it may not come here. It may not hit this area. It will show up in a store that's 3 to 6 hours away from me.
Right.
So if I don't pre-order, I won't get it. So now that this whole COVID situation has happened, and you can see the upsides to pre-ordering now. Will this change your outlook on pre-ordering some things when something's major going on? Like right now, this was a worldwide epidemic. If we did not have COVID, if this was a normal 2020 year, if we did not have COVID, if we were all working our lives to pieces,
right.
never having a shutdown, you not working from home, kids are not home from school half the week, and blasey, blasey, blasey.
Yeah.
You would have been able to walk into a store and buy a system.
Yep.
But the fact that the world, okay, so on that side of it, if everything had been normal, your normal day would have continued. But now that there's something happening worldwide that's affecting everything, affecting everything. Hell, when it gets down to where it's affecting yarn,
Yeah, I know
it's
prices
something
are going up
on.
and all that now. Like,
Yeah, so all that's happening. Does this change your outlook on pre-ordering things to where you're still at the stance of I will never pre-order, or does it change you to the stance of if there's a situation going on, I need to evaluate the situation, and if that's the case, I may pre-order?
well, I like how you went into all that, but the answer is simply hell to the no.
Okay.
Like hell to the no. I'm gonna stick by my chances of walking the store. Look, I haven't pre-ordered a game in years. Unless that game comes with some special edition content. I'm talking about like a season pass or a new DLC. I'm not pre-ordering a damn thing. As beautiful and great as Immortals Phoenix Rising was on Stadia for that demo, I didn't pre-order the damn game. As dope as Destiny is,
but see,
and Destiny Beyond Light, I was highly anticipating it, Bunny. You think I pre-ordered? Hell to the no. Cyberpunk
but
2077.
those are differences.
No.
You're buying those digitally.
I know.
I'm talking about
physical hardware.
about
I know what you're
physical
talking about.
stuff.
All right. So for the
Now,
physical hardware, this is
I don't even pre-order digital shit for the most part.
This is a one-time
unless they're running a sale on the digital game before it comes out. Like I bought the Jolly Roger. I bought that before. Remember, because I was on stream with you when I did it.
Yeah,
I bought it then. But you know why? They had it on sale for 20% off before it launched.
Yeah, and see, that makes sense. In situations like that, if it's saving you some pennies, but I'm all digital, so I don't do anything physical, not games at least. The consoles are the only physical things I buy. Thank God for Stadia. I'll just say this over and over because I didn't have to wait in the line. I don't have to worry about anything, and Stadia saved my ass. I can't lie because these consoles, money, are not in stock. Can you imagine I traded in both my X and my Pro, right? Now, can you imagine this? And then I still have a PC, but say I didn't have a PC.
But the point is you would have been locked with one thing.
Yes, if I didn't have Stadia, this is the point. If I didn't have Stadia,
I already know. Like, you know what my next major pre-order is going to be?
What's that?
I mean, like my next major pre-order that's like a big pre-order, it's going to be um the collector's edition for Monster Hunter Rise, because you can only get this collector's edition at GameStop, where it comes with the amiibo, and I have to pre-order both amiibo. I mean, all the amiibo at GameStop, because that's the only place you'll be able to get it. That's my next big pre-order,
Well, I'm sitting
because
on
they
speaking of
won't.
GameStop. I'm sitting on
Huh?
some big store credit right now. I'm sitting on like $250 from trading in that Pro. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
In an extra controller or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Mhm.
sitting on that 250. So if I want to buy, say I get my hands on a Series X or whatever, because
Mhm.
I almost canceled my pre-order. I can't lie to you. I almost canceled it. I definitely don't want to. I'm not waiting in nobody's queue. I'm not F5 in no more, like I said earlier, because I did that Walmart bull. I
Mhm.
sat there in 3 different ways. I was like, at 12 o'clock, y'all, let me tell you the story real quick. At 12 o'clock,
Wait a minute, one second. Do you
oh,
want me to
go
get
ahead,
to
go
the
ahead.
comments first before
Yeah,
you
get to the
get into the
comment.
stories?
Get to the comments.
Okay, so let's see here. Squid said, I did try Star Wars on PlayStation 4. Not too bad. I can't wait to play it on Stadia. I got it for my sister last May. Umar says Ghost of Tsushima is locked 60 until Dawn's hovers between 55 and 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 5.
That's still acceptable for me. Go ahead.
Yep. Red Raven is saying hi to Umar. Umar says Last Guardian is also locked at 60 frames per second on PlayStation 5, but only if you play the physical version with none of the patches. That's damn interesting.
Oh,
Umar is saying hello back to Red Raven. Squid, I may get Monster Hunter Rise pre-order as well. Man, yes, Squid. At GameStop, they have a $99 edition that comes with the game, a secondary some DLC stuff that you could purchase separately if you wanted to, but it also comes with one of the 3 specialty amiibo that you can only get at GameStop. So I'm going in there. I'm getting the $99 edition. I'm getting all the amiibo, and because yeah, I'm an amiibo whore. I love my amiibo, and the
so
only and all the amiibo is exclusive to GameStop right now.
so let me go ahead and tell the story real quick about Walmart,
Yes.
man. So I'm all excited. People are telling me, yeah, it's gonna be stock in Walmart. I'm like, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. I don't have to pre-order. Pre-order what? For what? So I go online, I got my credit card information in and everything. I'm like, okay, F5, let's go, baby. 12 o'clock comes, 12 p.m., afternoon. I get one in the cart. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a breeze. What are they talking about? What? Yo, I got to the checkout process, put the hey, I had the PS5 with the disc version PS5 in the cart. I went to go hit view cart and then place order and all that, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, a damn reindeer pops up at the bottom of the screen and said, oops, something about the North Pole. I said, yo, all right, okay, cool, cool, cool. So I go back in, I'm refreshing. I'm like, okay, view cart, check out. I put my information in, selected my address for it to ship. I said, yeah, I started bragging. I called my boy on the phone. Yo, got that PS5 secured. Hey, guess what? It never went after that step. I couldn't get past that step, is what I'm saying, right?
Mm.
So the second wave came, Bunny. I was like, okay, I'll get it at 3 o'clock. That's no problem. 3 o'clock. Let's go. 3 o'clock. Nobody will be home from work at that time. Not yet. Not too many people. Well, then I thought about it, like millions of people are home from work. Damn. So anyway, I hit the button, Bunny. Never even got to the yo. I didn't even get to the past the add to cart screen or whatever, right? And then the same thing at 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, I gave up. I didn't even try. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. After 6 o'clock, I gave up, Bunny, because I was like, no way in the hell am I going to try this again at 9 o'clock. And I just let it be. And from that moment on, I didn't give a damn about PS5 or whether I got the first wave or not. I was just like, yo, I'm not going through all that. That's too much work. You know what I'm saying? It's way too much work.
And then let's go back to the chat here real
Yeah, do that.
quick. Um, Squid says, haha, yeah, I have only one Jigglypuff, my favorite. I have Jigglypuff too. Jigglypuff's on my wall. I have so many of them. I have probably 20 amiibo opened and probably about 15, probably about 30 of them on my walls, decorating my walls. Yes, I have an amiibo problem. Hush, it'll be okay. Fatal Sharad says soon I'll have 3 copies of World of Warcraft Shadowlands to give away. Nice, Fatal. I haven't played World of Warcraft since God. It's I didn't
You don't want to get back into it, do you? Because that thing is
No, because I
addictive.
was. It's not bad. I got disappointed. I got bored with the game. I mean, like, I got to the last, not the last expansion, but I did the expansion where King Varian dies.
Oh, I hope
And
that's not a spoiler.
for everybody, if you play WoW, you already know he
Oh, all
dies.
right, okay, all right.
It's been out for this is two games ago. Um, so I did not play the last expansion at all. So good luck with those giveaways. Let people know how you're going to give them away, and I'll tweet it out and stuff like that for you. Squid is like, ooh, Squid's at Fatal Sharad. Let a guy know how to get one. And Fatal Sharad says, same thing happened to me at 6 and 9
Yeah,
with
with the
the play
Walmart.
source.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
And
it was crazy.
yep. And Squid says, haha, nice. 6 pop figures for me. I probably have about 20 pop figures. Squid says 12 years in Azeroth. Oh God, yes. I played the first week the game launched. I didn't like it then, and then I stopped playing it after the second expansion, and I returned to it for the third expansion, and I played it. Oh God, I don't even want to know how long I played it. And then because I ended up playing a disc priest. I loved my disc priest, but then they changed the way disc priests work, and I hated the way they changed disc priests. I got bored with playing, and I haven't played World of Warcraft in 3 years, I think it is.
I'm glad you and Squid got away from it. You know what I'm saying?
I think Squid, you still play?
Because some people, man, I saw some stories out there.
Oh, yeah, it's very. I had a friend who played World of Warcraft so much that he lost his job, his house, he lost everything because he could not leave the world of Azeroth.
Right.
Squid
Now,
played.
let me stop. Please let me stop you and Squid and whoever else that's played this game because I was afraid to jump into it, and I'm glad I didn't. And that's the only game I don't want to be addicted in that manner. But Bunny, why would somebody get so addicted to that? If you could recap, if you could tell me why in like 2 minutes, why would somebody get so addicted to World of Warcraft? Because I have no idea. I just read the story.
It's basically like guess you know how Xbox fans love the ecosystem because they can always play with their friends.
Yep.
World of Warcraft is the same thing. You have an ecosystem. You make friends. Uh, you go on raids together. You meet up in the game. It's an interaction. It's a It's the perfect social interaction for a person who's an invert who
So
never.
is it so okay, so does everybody cooperate because it's so team oriented or what? Like you have to depend on your team or what?
No,
What?
you can play solo, but for some things you have to have teams to do. Like I used to play a lot solo. I used to love playing for the professions. I used to do my cooking, my tailoring, all this stuff. Go in, make money. You join guilds.
So it's the freedom. Squid said it's the freedom to escape and hanging out with everyone.
Exactly.
Okay.
And like some people get married, they like meet their significant others playing World of Warcraft, get married, move to different countries. It's crazy, but it's a social interaction. And me and Squid stopped playing at the same time. I stopped playing in Legion, and I couldn't remember the damn expansion name. But we both stopped playing in Legion, and he doesn't have a PC anymore. And I stopped playing Legion because I got bored. I left the game with like 6 max level characters, and I got bored because there was nothing for me to do anymore.
How much money would you say you spent in that bad boy?
You don't even want to know.
Damn. All right.
Because you got to think about it like this: World of Warcraft, you pay $14.99 a month.
Ooh wee. All right. I guess if you love the game, that's not too bad.
And World of Warcraft has been out since 2004, 2005.
Yeah. So as long as you're paying the monthly fee, you don't have to pay for the newest DLCs and stuff.
You do. You have to buy them.
Oh wow. All right.
And
okay.
They're usually full price at $60.
Well, that's enough of that then.
I mean, you see what I mean? Like, people complain about buying DLC and stuff like this, but nobody complains about World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft, you pay $14.99 a month for that bitch. Then whenever the new expansion comes out, it's anywhere from $40 to $60 for the new expansion.
Mhm.
Unless you get the collector's edition, which could be anywhere from $80 to $90 to $100. Then, if you want like some of the cosmetic stuff in the game, like the pets, some of the pets you have to purchase. There's cosmetic things you could purchase in the game. Oh, it's a deal. It's a microtransaction from hell.
So let me ask you this real quick. Did they say that it's coming to console? Like, I think this
It has never. They were talking about putting it on consoles, but it's such a massive game. I mean, you gotta think right now. It's the game's data sizes are probably bigger than Call of Duty's.
Yo, that's crazy. Well, I appreciate that conversation, but yeah, that's I'll probably love it if I try to get into it, but I'll probably get lost into it. Now, with that being said, man, we got Spider-Man. I heard that Spider-Man was out here, doing like there was some issues with Spider-Man and Gears of War 5 as well. Did that surprise you?
What was going on with Gears?
Something was going on with Spider-Man and Gears of War 5. I know some people said that Gears of War 5 was either shutting down or something was happening with the Xbox. I can't remember exactly what it was. But
I was seeing that the game for a couple different games on both systems, when you were playing them, they would shut down the system and reboot the system.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, I guess it's not too bad as long as they got it fixed. See, that's the thing. I haven't kept up with it because I'm not really trying to just focus on all this crazy negativity and stuff. And like, it's good to know that some of these things exist, but I wasn't really hounding on it because I do know that things happen in the beginning. It happens with everything. So
right.
I don't think it's fair to throw shots either direction. You know what I mean?
Like I said, but these are games. But see, here's the only thing I have to throw shots at. For Gears of War 5, okay, it was a last-gen game, okay? I'm not throwing that many shots at that. But Spider-Man Miles Morales was made for the PS5. Why the fuck is it shutting down the system?
I have no idea. No idea. But
I mean, if you get the PlayStation 5 version, I can even understand if you had the PlayStation 4 version and upgraded it to the PlayStation 5 version. I could understand that. But this is a game that you made specifically and sold specifically for the PlayStation 5 version. Why is it shutting down the PlayStation 5?
It's just a little oversight, I'm assuming. You know what I mean? A little oversight. They passed it up right away. And then I know something about Call of Duty not running right out of the box on the PS5 at 120 hertz. You had to go through a couple steps or whatever to get that happen. And then on Series X, it was okay, I guess. So it seems like these things are major. Now, systems overheating and stuff like that, that's major. But these games having issues from some users, I guess that's something that you can almost expect which is sad for this generation.
But like I said, somebody like that one video I showed you, the guy posted on Twitter where his fucking Xbox sounded like a damn gunshot went off.
I heard that. I saw it too.
Rebooted itself. And I was sitting there like, what on earth is going on with this system? And I mean, like I said, I to be honest with you, I was expecting all the mechanical issues. For both consoles, I was expecting all the mechanical issues. Absolutely every mechanical issue that is happening, I was expecting it.
And see, that's what my
Because
problem is because I don't know how that's acceptable, and it's like we're conditioned to deal with this kind of
oh
shit,
no
and it
no
pisses
no
me
no
off.
no
I
no
can't lie
no
to you
no
because
no
I'm
no
just
no
so.
no no. There's a difference.
What's
I
up?
was expecting all these issues. Like I said, when game consoles launch, yeah, you have some hiccups, right?
Yeah,
But the ones that's happening right now, I was expecting all this to happen because you got to think they were talking about in March these consoles were coming out holiday season. That's not even
hmm
6 months, and these bitches in China was still shut down. How the hell were they going to get it out in time?
Well,
How were they going to make the consoles and have enough time to test the market, and test what was coming out the factory? What I'm saying is you make the console, have it come off the factory line, right?
yeah.
And the first couple of them you test, you put the rigorous testing, the retail versions. How are they going to have time to do that?
Well, it would be kind of tricky. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't. Hey, it is what it is, man. I can't. I don't know what the hell to say because I think I've seen worse, man. I
I mean,
just
yeah.
don't. If consumers are willing to spend their money on it, it is what it is. I guess. I
Right.
don't know. Um, but hopefully everything moves to the cloud where we won't have these problems much longer. Um, and we'll be done talking about this kind of stuff, Bunny.
I mean, let's be honest. Everybody's going to have issues. Somebody's not going to like something else. I mean, it's just inevitable. Um, because everybody, you can't please everyone. The people when they move everything to the cloud, then you're gonna have the people who are mad that there's no more physicals. When they get rid of all consoles, you're gonna have people mad that they don't have their own standardized thing. If you goodness, this is gonna sound crazy when I say it, but did you ever see the movie Equilibrium?
I can't remember if I saw the whole movie, but I know what you're talking about.
The society where they took away everyone's feelings because it excited things like hatred, things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, remember how bland their world was because they had no feeling, they had no choices, things like
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me. I have a feeling that if everything moves to where in gaming, where everything moves to where you can only play where everything goes on one console, I think it's going to feel like that, where it feels emotionless anymore. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. And I'll tell you why, because the cloud, when you realize the potential of what the cloud can offer, you limit you eradicate the boxes, you know what I'm saying? So if
But
you think
some
about it,
people, but
you're
see,
going
that's the
outside of the
thing.
box with the cloud, you
Yeah,
know?
but you got to think about it. Some people like the boxes. If
Some
that,
people do, and they're gonna have a box for them. I'm sure they're gonna have some kind of device, whether it be
well, but you just said
whether it
move
be a dongle
everything
or
to.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Um, Squid says, haha, yeah, we shall see what time brings us. Slowly, we are moving away from local memory.
Yep.
Also, disk drives are going to maybe start to go away just because the savings from going digital.
Now listen. Speaking of disk drive, Squid, we got to back up again. Let's back up one more time, Bunny, and we're gonna
You're
talk about
fine.
these damn disk drives.
Mm-hmm.
Why are these consoles having disk drive issues? Disk drives have been around for a long ass time now, Bunny. Blu-ray or not, it don't matter. They have years to perfect these things.
They've had decades to perfect them. What are
Yeah,
you
you
talking
see what I'm
about?
saying? Years. I didn't put a specific amount of numbers on it, but I
I mean, you
said
gotta
years.
think.
Now,
I remember when CD-ROM started coming out.
right.
It was in the late 80s, early 90s.
I'm
You
just
know,
saying.
but
You
that's
you
what I'm
you kill the
saying.
disk drive, you introduce more people to something like the cloud or the subscription-based services or games as a service or whatever. You introduce them, you make them think about it, and then you go and fix things up. I don't know. That's just
I mean,
that's the
but
tinfoil hat
but then you
theory and
gotta
stuff,
go
you know.
there when they're saying it's going sales savings from going digital. Here's my thing about digital. Okay, I'm not against digital, but I'm against digital because it costs the same price as physical.
Yeah.
And my thing is if you're going to go, if you want everybody to go digital, then you need to lower that price of digital. I guarantee you, if they had introduced digital gaming back in the day at, let's say, $40 instead of $60, do you realize how many people would jump on digital just because it's cheaper?
A
I mean,
lot.
I could tell you this from personal experience. When I had my 3DS, right? Some third party games that I had on my 3DS was cheaper digital than they were physical by like $10. So instead of paying $40 for a physical copy of the game, I would go and pay $30 for the digital one. You see
Yeah,
what I mean?
I know what you're talking about.
Even on the Switch. Some games that release digitally on the Switch are $10 cheaper digital than they are physical. I could think of Stranded Sales. It was a game that released on the Switch. It released for on the Switch for $24.99, and then if you pre-ordered it, you pre-purchased it digitally, it was on sale for like $19.99 versus the physical copy, which was $35.99.
Hmm. Huh. Well, I get what you're saying, but like I said, if you move everybody over to this cloud, you get rid of all the hardware defects and all that stuff. Now you'll have to deal with what happens if the cloud service goes down.
or if
But
your internet goes
Stadia is showing
down.
that it doesn't go down consistently at all. It stays up more consistently than
My
not.
only thing
The
is
only
yes,
time I've seen it go down is when they took it down intentionally. You know what I mean?
but you got to think about it like this also. Let's flip it on its head. You know, yes, Stadia is consistent and everything, and you can play Stadia wherever you want on your phone, your tablet, whatnot. Correct?
Yeah.
You can play it anywhere, anytime. You're traveling, you're this, you're that. Let's put it this way: do you realize that you will not be able to play Stadia on the airplane?
Well, hey, forget all that.
Ah, 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 ah.
Can you play Switch on? Well, you can play
You
Switch on
can
the
play your
airplane.
Switch on the airplane.
Hey, I'm just saying, online wise, yeah, you won't.
No,
But
no,
hey,
no,
let
but
me say
that's what I'm
something.
saying. No, 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 no. But here's the point I'm making.
Yeah,
People who travel, who do a lot of traveling, and if they go by plane, they won't be able to use Stadia while they're on the plane unless Stadia figures out a way where where you could download it and play it offline. Do you see the issue there?
yeah, I see it. But you just buy you a Switch and then you play Stadia when you get to the hotel, whatever you gotta do. I mean, it's no big deal. You know what I'm saying? You sign in, put your information in, connect to the Wi-Fi or whatever to the internet, and then you play your Stadia. That's the bottom line. I mean, I think it's just beneficial. I can see the like the cons, but I see more pros. You
And
know.
then let's get to some of these comments. Squid said, laughing very hard, saying the teraflops are getting in the way. Yeah, the good old eShop. I love setting my region to Oregon so I would get taxed differently. They changed that, but yeah, eShop is great. Even access to Japanese eShop for early access to games. Actually, Squid, if you set your thing to Australia, I think you'll get it before Japan also. Yeah, Nintendo will go cloud based in about 4 years. I think they're just dipping their toes in right now. Roger says digital isn't cheaper because console makers won't piss off the Walmarts who sell their consoles.
Yeah,
But
Roger.
but here's the thing about you want to know what's funny about Walmart?
What's that?
All the physical games they sell, usually when they launch, especially on the Switch, they launch the physical games $10 cheaper than the digital games. So if you go into Walmart to buy a physical game, like prime example, I could go into Walmart and buy Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, or even Let's Go newer Pokemon Sword and Shield. The physical version of Pokemon Sword and Shield is $49.94. If you go over to their little digital wall where you buy the digital code for the digital games,
Yeah.
it's $59.99.
Well, that's a good way to look at it.
And then Squid says, even better, thank you. And then he says, they sit. I don't know what that means. Charles says, look at our movies and music. Streaming is big, but we still have Blu-rays, CDs, vinyl records, even tapes. Walmart still sells cassette players. Bands are using them instead of CDs.
Absolutely.
And what's crazy, Charles, is my Walmarts in my area has expanded their vinyl record section. Like, it's hardly any CDs in my Walmart. There's a ton of vinyl records and record players in my Walmart. With Walmarts, I meant the retailers. You're fine, Roger. I was just saying that we knew you were talking about the retailers, but I was just talking about how Walmart does their physical game. And I think they do their physical games like that across all three consoles where they launch them $10 cheaper than the digital games. Let's Go Eevee is still $50 for physical at Walmart. Yes, Squid, but if you go anywhere else, it's still $60 at there. Fatal says, I saw Pokemon Sword at Best Buy for $39. For Black Friday, they are dropping $20 off of a ton of Nintendo games. Yeah, Fatal, $39.99.
Thank
Yeah,
goodness.
and on Black Friday, a lot of first-party Nintendo games are going to be $20 cheaper.
Nintendo won't have to worry about stock problems. I'll tell you that much.
Exactly.
That's going to be major. Yeah, they're about to sell another 5 million.
I mean, you got to think about last year. They did that with Zelda, Mario Odyssey, and a third game they did that with, where they dropped it by $20. They sold out everywhere. Squid says they get a huge surplus at super centers, and also they have decent gaming gear there. Yes, they do, Squid. And Squid, do you pick up their free gaming magazine? Walmart's free gaming magazine is actually really good. It cuts through bullshit, not a ton of our advertisements, and they get to the meat and potatoes of the stories. Roger says, I predict digital will eventually be replaced by cloud. Yes, it will be, slowly but surely, Roger. I completely agree with you.
And that's what I was talking about right there. And I think that's acceptable. Charles just reminded us that you don't have to kill off one to enjoy the other. Like, you know what I'm saying? And history always repeats itself. Like, cartridges are still in effect. I mean, who would have thought?
I mean, who would have thought Nintendo would have gone back to cartridges?
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
When I saw that, I said, oh, they about to set the Switch up like the DS line. With like the DS family, where every generation of the DS after the first DS could still play the previous generation's games. But Charles says when cloud goes mainstream, we'll still have consoles. They'll find ways to play cloud on a plane, satellite internet, etc. I can also see cloud gaming providers making deals with airlines. Squid says Pikmin 3 drop. Yes, it dropped on October 30th. It's $49.99 at Walmart. Ha ha ha. Maybe Let's Go Eevee and expansion are on my list for the Switch when on the Switch then Monster Hunter Rise. You want Let's Go Eevee, or are you talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield, Squid, or do you already have Sword or Shield? Squid says I have to sign up for that. Charles says if you want Switch games real cheap, look up Unclaimed Baggage. They just sell the cartridges. Okay,
Okay.
Unclaimed Baggage. Anybody want cheap Switch games? Go to Unclaimed
Yeah,
Baggage.
because my son is gonna be, hey, he's trying to get him one. So I need to be fine. I need to find all the discounts because of all my money is going to Stadia games until I could figure out what I'm gonna do. And
Or
it seems
until
like a
your wife.
damn
Oh, wait a minute. Until your wife says you need to buy your son some Switch games. Let me cut you off
it
from the
sounds
speech.
like a tsunami outside right now. What the hell is going on?
It's raining up there.
Hell yeah, hard as hell too. But yeah, but so it's I tell you what though, Bunny, I will say this right here. Nintendo has gotten a taste of this cloud. I would like to see them go ahead and dig deeper into the cloud because I do want to see them put the first party games out there, and I really do hope that they
I
kick it into
don't
full gear.
see. That's the only thing. I think they're going to put the big, because everybody screams they want these big third party games. They want the Cyberpunks. They want the Red Dead Redemptions. I think they're going to mainly put third party, the big, super big third party games on the cloud. That way they don't have to worry about people don't have to worry about the fidelity of the game. I mean, think about it like this: Control, they wouldn't have never put on the Switch because you would have had to cut so much out of it to make it run on the Switch. It's easier just to put it on the cloud and let people who want it stream it.
Right. It's
Oh,
crazy.
I hear it out there.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy out there. You know what I mean? But it said
I
like
wonder if it's
severe
moving down here
thunderstorm.
to me.
Probably severe thunderstorm. That's all. But hey, I tell you what, I gotta check these. I got this one set of windows. I definitely got to check. But look, let me check that out real quick, and you wrap up because I had a little leak. I'll be right back in like 2 minutes. Hold on.
Okay, no problem, Storm.
All right.
So, and then we have Squid saying, I have Shield, need the new islands. I have Pokemon Sword and Shield. I just haven't gotten either of the expansions yet. I don't even know if I'm going to get the expansions, to be honest with you. Roger, I hear promo versions of Cyberpunk 2077 has been sent out, so probably no more delays. Well, that is a great thing. Charles, back to the cloud on planes. I could see certain deals with airlines for in flight Wi Fi or the apps on those entertainment screens. The problem with Wi Fi on planes, from what I understand, is Wi Fi interferes with the aerospace. It the God, what is it? The technology that they use to use their navigations on planes. I heard that's why they don't allow Wi-Fi on planes because it interferes with the radio towers and things like that. So it's a possibility that it could, but it's also a huge possibility that it might not because um, you don't want it to interfere with the radio towers in the airline control towers on planes. Like cell phones have been known to, like air traffic controllers in the early days of cell phones and stuff, could hear people's conversations. So it's an interesting thought. But guys, it is 7:57. You know what time that means. That means it is almost time for us to leave. Thank you, everyone who came out to rock with us tonight. Thank you, Squid. Thanks for showing up after work. Hopefully, you get to go get some good food and relax. Thank you, Roger, for popping
All
in.
right, I'm back.
Charles, welcome back, Storm. I'm saying goodbyes to everyone.
Oh, okay.
Charles, thank you for showing up as always. We also had Peach Maker in the house. Peachy, thank you for coming. Red Raven, thank you for showing up. Fatal Sherrod, like I said, let people know how you're going to do the giveaway for those for Shadowlands. I know of a lot of people who probably would want that. Let's see here. Who else showed up with us today?
Let's see. I'm
Oh,
trying
we
to
had
go up now.
Stadia Pro in the house. Thank you, Stadia Pro, for showing up. Thank you also for the sub. Umar, thank you for coming. You know, I always love seeing you, Umar. And
And
then,
Wrong Yeezy in the building. You can't forget about Wrong
yes,
Yeezy.
I know I haven't gotten up to his name yet.
Oh, all
Ron
right.
Yeezy, thank you for showing up, also popping in, saying hi to us. And then let's see here. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I don't. Let's
But
see. I don't see anybody else.
thank you, everyone, for showing up. Remember, for people who are watching this in the future or listening to this in the future, if you wish to find Storm and I and Ying Meets Yang of Gaming, you can also check us out on Radio Public at radiopublic.com. Look up Ying Meets Yang of Gaming, and Ying is with a G. You can also find both Storm and myself and Peach Mecca, who was in the chat, along with MM2K over every Wednesday on MM2K's channel with the commission, talking about gaming news, things like that over there. You can catch us there every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find myself, Snow Bunny, at SnowBunny426 on Twitter. Storm, where can they find you at?
Well, you can find me blowing away in this damn storm right now. Nah, you know the storm. I'm one with the storm. But you can find me on Twitter at the Nephophiliac. And you can also find me right here on YouTube. I make 4K content on a regular basis. I try to make some nice performance type videos for PC and everything else as well. Also, find us Thursdays at SSC Podcast on Stadia Dosage News right here on YouTube. That's what you look for, Stadia Dosage News. When myself, him, and Eddie Player One will be chopping things up. Stadia has a big week coming up this week, so let's see if they decide to drop any surprises. And with that being said, hey, I hope you all have a good, fun, safe night.
And also, if you want to find out Storm's, like, he's the man everywhere. If you want to find out Storm on my schedule or MM2K's schedule, you can also find out information over on pntsnetwork.com. There you'll find our old shows. You'll also find information about where you can find us in a timetable for when our shows are coming on. You're welcome, Roger. Thank you for showing up. We also have Charles Charade saying there's a good new podcast called Cloudburst. Storm, you're going to want to check that out.
Oh, I know about it.
Everybody, if you are not subscribed to Fatal Charade's YouTube channel, you need to click his name and go subscribe to his channel right now to check out Crumbside Championship Wrestling. It reminds me of Celebrity Deathmatch, but just dealing with all the YouTube gamers. You have myself, you have Storm, you have MM2K, you have Peach Mecca, who also goes by Tron. He has everybody wrestling against each other, and sometimes into like a death match. So go check out Fatal Charade's Crumbside Championship Wrestling. Squid will be here next Sunday, and thank you for coming out. We will be here again next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, Squid, you'll be off early enough to catch us early enough. That's when you catch us right here on Snow Bunny Gaming. Everyone have a very safe week, and I hope to see everyone next week. Bye.
Take it easy, y'all.